Why we make a lot of money mistakes. Dive into issues of why do you need goals? Because you need to set up goals so that then you can look for the resources that are going to actually match the goals, and then you will work towards financial freedom. When we get the money, then we start allocating money to things that are not priority, things that are not as important. When we do short-term goals, we save over a period of time, and then we actualize, and then we tick in our checkbox. Setting up a business, look for a financial advisor. Could be an independent, like board member, who just wants the best to happen in your life. And with that, you're able to achieve your long-term goals and achieve your short-term goals. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me this afternoon. This is Meira Solutions, and this is where we say financial finance, doing things in the best way possible when it comes to your finances and your resources. My name is Margaret Wanjiru, a financial coach, and today we will just tackle two issues on money mistakes. And allow me to begin by why we make a lot of money mistakes. And money mistakes come along because essentially we don't have any goals in our lives. We look for money seriously and aggressively, but we do not have the goals. Whereas we put the cart before the horse when we look for money without the goals. And so today we will dive into issues of why do you need goals? Because you need to set up goals so that then you can look for the resources that are going to actually match the goals, and then you will work towards financial freedom, which is what we say should be the end goal for every individual. So looking at just a simple example is where you need to draw your goals, and goals should be long-term or short-term goals. And allow me to elaborate here and talk about short-term goals. Short-term goals are goals that are probably within 6 months and a year, you're able to achieve them. And long-term goals are goals that are above a year and above, moving to 10, 15 years. And so they revolve, they keep changing, and so you keep adjusting them. So a short-term goal today could be, I just want to save 2,000 bob so that I can probably buy a pair of shoes in 2 months' time. That's a short-term goal. But a long-term goal is where you probably want to buy an asset, you probably want to do some investment, and you are looking into the market and seeing and checking out what exactly is available for me in this particular perspective. And so when we do short-term goals, we save over a period of time, and then we actualize, and then we tick in our checkbox. And that's why you need a goal. When you do long-term goals, they will be gradual, they will take a lot of time, they probably are heavy in investments, while short-term goals are not very heavy in terms of the money that you require to meet that goal. And so this is one of the problems that we do, that we are goalless, if there's a word like that. So we look for money, helter-skelter, beating our chest out and everything else. But when we get the money, then we start allocating money to things that are not priority, things that are not as important as how hard you worked out for the money. And so this afternoon, allow me to say that you need to really understand your life and understand your journey and figure out where you want to take your financial journey towards. And therefore, you will draw goals that are short-term, and you're going to draw goals that are long-term. It is very recommended that each one of us should have a mix, a blend of short-term goals and a blend of long-term goals, so that you're focused on certain things that are short-term and certain things that are long-term. So an example of a long-term goal that is really not financial is where you say that I probably want to get married, or I do not want to get married, or I want to have a baby. And that's a long-term goal. And maybe you're 18 and you look forward to having a family, but you might actualize it in the 6 years, 10 years plan. So when it comes to finances, then you're supposed to actually look at that perspective and match it to the finance needs that come with that long-term goal. So when you're thinking that you want to settle down in life, then you need to also think about the financial perspective towards that particular goal. And so you want to think, where will I settle? Do I want to live in a rented home? Do I want to put some resources in terms of, my dowry, taking my kids to school? Where do I want to live? What type of schools do they want to go to? Will I have an insurance for them or not? Will I have an education plan for them? And so those are all the financial aspects that actually work together with the goal that you've already set. And so that's what I'm saying. The moment you have a goal, you need to put up the financial perspective towards it. And that's a good example of having a long-term goal. And so when you actualize your goal for your long-term goal will be actualized in phases, because it doesn't mean that the moment you settle down, then you have all those things set together, because it's gradual. Children will be growing up. Their needs may be very dynamic from a different phase of life to another. When they are in lower primary, in upper primary, at the university, they need different support mechanism. And therefore your financial needs will keep adjusting in that particular long-term goal. Then one other money mistake that most of us end up making is that because we are so familiar with money, and so we are used to touching money. We touch money every single day. Okay, nowadays we don't touch money because money is paperless, and therefore we touch our phones. In essence, we have the money with us. And so we tend to think that we are so familiar, we are aware of how to handle money. But I actually want to say that financial advisory is very poor, and is also, people don't want to expose themselves. And allow me here to say that if somebody has a flu or they're not feeling well, they visit a medic, and they are able to sit there and openly discuss their body anatomy to get support. And so I would really urge majority of us, or all of us, to actually look for financial advisory from people who are certified, from people who are aware, people who are tested, and they're able to advise you on what you need to do when it comes to financial advisory. Because we make a lot of mistakes, and then we seek advice after we've made the mistake. You find that people do not want to speak about their money because they take it to be very private, and they don't seek assistance, they don't seek guidance, they don't seek mentorship. In financial freedom, you need to get people to advise you, people who've been there, people who are going to advise you and they have no advantage or gain towards that. You're setting up a business, look for a financial advisor. Could be an independent, like board member, who just wants the best to happen in your life. That person wants you to actualize your own dream, and they're not beneficiaries. They have no profits that will come to them. They're not interested in being suppliers or vendors in your institution, but you need them so that they can walk the journey. And when they look at you and they look at your business having been founded well and making good profits and able to touch lives out in the community and achieve its goal, then they are satisfied that they had a journey with you. And so we all learn, and it is good for us to learn and relearn again, because we have a lot of money mistakes that we have done. And a lot of the money mistakes we have done is because of how traditionally we've grown up. We've grown up in a society where people don't sit to discuss money. Money issues are very secret. People will not discuss how much they make. They will not discuss where they went wrong. They will not discuss the challenges they are facing. And so that is a society we live in, because people are not really, they're not out to get financial advice. And allow me, as I conclude, to say that financial advisory also comes at a cost. And majority of us are not willing to put in some little resources towards advisory. So you will find that somebody will wake up and invest in a certain business, and they will make all the wrong things, all the wrong steps, and then at the end of the day, they lose money. And then they will be looking for somebody now to come and help them recoup or recover, while they would have gotten the proper foundation, and then they get mentorship, and they get a bit of monitoring and evaluation where you're actually open to say that this season, this quarter was not as good, and then the reviews. And that's why we need to do quarterly reports. Where are we? Why didn't we achieve certain goals? How are we going to actually catch up with the goals that we didn't lose? Is it the market? Is it our strategy? Do we need to realign? All those are part of what you need to get in mentorship. And with that, you're able to achieve your long-term goals and achieve your short-term goals. And somebody will also advise you and tell you, this is short-term goal, but you can revise it so that it becomes a long-term goal, so that you encompass many other things in it, so that you're able to achieve your financial freedom. At the end of the day, we are saying that when it comes to money matters, you must have goals. If you don't have goals, then you will get money, you will spend it, it will come and it will go. And then you will be left without achieving what you really wanted to achieve in your own life. Thank you very much. We look forward to hearing from you through Meira Solutions on YouTube and also on Facebook. Thank you very much.